Today we will learn about data reading and data writing in C++. So in this lecture, we will explore the essentials of reading and writing data to files using C++ programming, and how we can make our code so that we can take some data from the user and write it onto the file. So why that file handling? Why is file handling important? Why do we need it? We need it because, like, if we want to save data from a user, like we have a program that takes data from the user. Like, for example, it's a software in a supermarket that stores the data for the all of the products that are in the shop, all the stock and all that. So for that we will need to store that data. Humans can don't have photographic memory that they would like keep it in their mind forever. So we will just save the data in a file that we can access it later, or the program can access later. So it makes it easy for the program. So basically, we file handling means to create, read, update and delete files, adding a layer of persistence to your applications. So after all this is the way I have told you. Now let's see how we can open a file. To work with files, we use the fstream library. We have included it over here in our include in the header section, this section. So to add data onto, or to take data from the class, from not the class, from a file, or put the data on to the file, we use two classes for output and input. One is this if stream and off stream. For input we use if stream. It would basically what if stream does, it takes the data and inputs it. But for like outputting we use off stream. That's basically a class included in the fstream library. Okay, so let's see how the process begins. So basically we have over here have created an output file stream. Basically this is a output file stream because we have put the off stream output files and named it output file. And the thing is, the file is called data.txt. We can make it any data, like we can make it dat file, docs file, doc file, any data, or any excel file or anything. It depends on the person who's designing the program. They can choose whatever they want to store it as. So we have created an output file stream or off stream, which is basically this stands for output file stream. It basically outputs the into the file and opens the file. Okay, and now let's check if the file was successfully opened. If the file is like failing to open, like no, this condition would mean the file is not open, that it couldn't be opened. We will get error opening file, and we will return 1, or else this whole code will do. So basically we're writing this onto the file, our output file. We would use the same operator as the name the one we named, and we will just put it hello file handling dot and at the end we have put and then we close the file using the close function. Close basic function basically is included in the fstream. Let me show you. As you can see, it is declared in the fstream. What this basically does is closes the file and using the function. So let's run this code and see what we get. Okay, the process finished with code 0. So let's do a thing. Let me do the file was successfully made and written on. So basically this would be like our thing, that the file that the our program has successfully made the file. So successfully made the file. So let me open it in our code. Okay, so I have opened the file and it says hello file handling. Okay, so basically what it does, it like output it onto the file hello file handling. So this is how we write onto the file, output onto the file. Okay, now we have a code where we can take the input from the file. Okay, this is basically used to read from the file. Basically we're reading the file, and so to do that we use if stream, input stream. Basically we're inputting on to the application, our software that we have made. So basically we have used if stream, input file. You can name anything, this our if stream, out input stream, anything you want. Okay, so we're inputting data.txt. okay, so now we have the same thing. We're checking if the file was successfully opened. If is not, if input dot file is like it doesn't open, we will give out error opening file. We will give out an error. This basically means console error. Okay, let me show you a thing. Okay, I have moved the file that we have made before. Let me run this. Okay, as you can see, we got an error opening file. So basically CER means as console error. C here stands for console and this stands for error. So basically our program was unable to open the file and wasn't able to read it, so we got the error. Then we have reading data from the file. We made a string. Okay, so this is a function called getLine. GetLine is basically declared in basic string h. We didn't have to like include it over here because it automatically is included in our every C++ code, so we don't really have to include it. So it takes the input stream and the line number basically. So now we're displaying data. We're outing the data, which is the line. Okay, line is basically going to be the whole line of the code. Basically if there's a multiple lines, there will be like put down, they will be displayed as like this and like one line by line, rather than being in just one whole straight line. So this is basically the where we put our input file stream, and this is where we put our line okay, basically where the lines from the input file would be put on. We stored the lines onto the string line, and then basically we're reading the data from the line, data read from line, outing, and then closing the file. So let's run this code and see what we get. So as you can see, data read from file hello file handling, and the line ends. Basically there's only one thing to the file. So let me add some more. Made by me. I hope you like it. Okay, let me close this, then run it again. Okay, so as you can see, it only read only one line. Why is that? Because it can only take for the first line. It cannot take more lines after the thing. So to read more lines, we have to make some modification to this code. So let me do that. Okay, so to read more than one line, we basically use a while loop. While get line, let me put this whole, they would put this whole thing. Let me, okay, so we put this whole get line function inside here. While the get line function like keeps on going, the line is not empty. While the line is not empty, we would read, put this thing inside here, put nl, delete that, make it a bit tidy. Okay, so now let me run the code, and as you can see, data read from file, hello file handling, data read from file made by me. I hope you like it. So this is how we can read and write onto a file in C++ code. So basically the best file handling practices, as with any programming task, there are some practices that you have to follow for efficient and safe file handling. So always check if the file was successfully opened before proceeding with the operation. Basically you have to like check whether the file exists or not, like if it opens or not, is it accessible to the program or not. Because if there is an error opening the thing and you like write the whole code on for it would just be it would go all to waste. Instead of you would waste your all hard work because of just one error. So make sure to include this if clause in your input or output file code, and close the file after you have finished releasing it to release resource. So after like you have done with the file, you have made your own things, made all of your like, basically this is just a small example showing how you can open a file and then close it. In huge programs, there's like different functions, different files that are being used. Like if you see a few games, like they use different files, like there would be some image file, there would be some text files that are used, some data files. So basically just remember to put the close after you're done with it, or else it's gonna take the files would like stack on into the memory and they would hog up all of the memory. Use descriptive and meaningful names to enhance code reliability. So basically instead of just using if, like how would anyone know what this means? Like it could be anything. It could be an if clause that you're wanting to put but you didn't like fully do it, and like your co-worker comes in and start working on it, it would kind of become hard for him to do. So basically just remember to make it full your like not even like only in this, just make your code more descriptive and meaningful in every like code you write. Make the variable names more descriptive so you can understand yourself and the others can too. Handle potential errors such as failing to open file gracefully to avoid crashes. Just like I said, just handle the file potential errors. Like basically the file could be like read only, or like it cannot be written on or anything like that. So just make sure to do those, and so your program doesn't crash. Or if the file is read only, the program is gonna keep on crashing and you won't be able to work on it, and you basically think it's basically some resource issue or the issue in the program, but they basically would be issue in the file. So at the end, file handling is an essential skill in C++ programming. enabling data persistence beyond runtime. So basically you can like keep the data after the even after the code is run. By mastering file handling, you gain the ability to create and update and manage files seamlessly. Applying this concept to your project and enhance the functionality of your application. So this was the whole thing on data handling and data writing, how you can write onto the to a file in onto a file like txt, dat or anything, and then read from it and write on it. So this was it from today, and I hope to see you in the next one.